Hello, Growsmarters. I hope that you've been practicing your planning skills to write a great creative essay. If you are watching this video, you should know two things already. The first is that in order to write a great creative essay, you have to follow the writing process and start with the pre-writing stage. The second thing that you should know is that a mind map is a tool that we can use to plan and to organize our thoughts and our ideas in order to understand and remember the information that we want to access better. In our previous video, we had a look at the story of Vuyo and Gemma that went camping, and I asked you to join me in an activity where you had to use the 6 question words like who, what, where, and when to use the first paragraph of the story and then construct that information onto your mind map. I hope you managed to do that. After you would have done that, I challenged you to use that information to construct one good sentence about the information in the first paragraph. And this is what I came up with. Vuyo and the quadruplets who lived in Mouseville were packing their cheesemobile on a sunny Friday afternoon to go camping. Now, one could say that this is a summary, and this is a wonderful tool or skill that you can apply to prepare or understand information in any of your other subjects. But today's video is not using existing information and deconstructing it. Today's video is about taking your idea and creating your own story using a mind map. The first thing that we need to do is just to brainstorm once we have selected a topic. Because once we have our topic, we can start thinking about words that are relevant to our topic. We can start creating our characters and we can think of a setting and we can start designing our plot. So in your Growsmart newspaper, the first edition, on page 9, there's a wonderful spider diagram that you can use to help you brainstorm. Or if you are brave enough, you can go to your creative writing workbook from pages 4 to 7 and just start directly planning on your mind map. Now, in your Growsmart creative writing workbook on page 2, there are some wonderful topics. But for this video, I've decided to choose my own topic, which is I had superpowers for a day. Now, once I've selected my topic, I need to ask myself a question. And the question is, what do I know about this topic? So I've read some books about superpowers and I've watched some shows about superpowers, and I know that one can maybe fly, that you get the power of invisibility, like Matilda had the power of telekinesis, where you can control things with your mind. But I also know I don't know too much about telekinesis, and if I had to write a story about the topic, I would have to do quite a bit of research. So maybe I want to stick to things that I know. I should also consider words that I might use in my story, such as maybe I want to be the hero in the story, and maybe I want to save somebody. Maybe my superpower is a secret. So once I've plotted down words that I know about my topic, I can move on to where I start creating my characters. Now, usually as the narrator or the storyteller, I would feature as one of the characters. But I also need to engage with other characters where I maybe face a problem or a challenge and I have to find a solution to that problem. Because me, the only person in the story flying around all day, I don't think that will be an interesting story for readers. I start thinking about what the characters maybe look like. Or are they kind and short? Or are they angry and tall? So I'm in control of creating my characters. However, there will be a separate video just to see what can we add to a character so that the reader can see who and what that character is. Next, I can decide where do I want my story to take place, because remember, I'm in control of all these decisions now made about where and when and how in my story. Maybe my story takes place on planet Earth, or maybe I only have my superpower when I walk into the kitchen. Maybe I want my story to take place in the future, but it might as well be in the present or in the past. So I need to decide that before I can continue with my story. Because once I know who is in my story and what my story is going to look like and where it is going to be, I can start thinking about what will happen in the beginning of my story, in the middle, and towards the end. But can I give you a little tip? It's always a good idea to have an introduction and then think of the end part of your story. Because if you know how your story is going to end, it gives your story direction. Maybe I wake up with my superpower. Or maybe I look in the mirror and I look completely different. Maybe there's a challenge or a problem and my whole school is in trouble and I get to save everybody. So that is up to you as the author. Now for the activity. What I would like you to do is to draw a mind map using the components of the brainstorming. Who is in your story? What is your story about? How is it going to start and how will your story end? And then I want you to think of ideas after you have chosen a topic and write it all down. And then give it a day or two. And you'll see in your creative writing workbook that there are actually 2 mind maps. No, that's not for 2 stories. It just means that once we've initially thought of an idea, we might develop that idea even more. We might add some information and make some changes. So that is your challenge for this week, Growsmarters. Happy writing!